last week there was so much focus on obviously stopping Saquon Barkley. Do you feel like it's 2.0 with Jonathan Taylor from what you see on tape?
Yeah, pretty much same thing. We going in this week with the same mentality as last week.
So for you personally, is it just that? Is it a mentality? Is it execution? What's the most important thing?
Really everything, especially like preparation throughout the week leading up into the game. I feel like that's what's most important.
There's some losses, or I thought Matthew Stafford said it great today. Sometimes in the league you win games that maybe you shouldn't have, but you did. Last week was the opposite of that. For you personally, how do you balance that? How do you mentally, emotionally keep that in the rearview mirror?
Coach preached like the not let the Eagles beat us twice, and not letting it carry over to the next week's opponent. So that's what we're trying to focus on this week.
So for you, not just this year with the Rams, with the Chargers, or even in college, anytime, how tough is that?
It can be kind of tough, but like as long as everybody's on the same page and like putting their best foot forward throughout the week, I feel like we'll be fine.
For you, when I have emotional stuff like that, I need a good night's sleep, and then I'm all right. What about for you? Are you over it the second you get on the plane, or does it take 48 hours?
I mean, some it take longer than others, but like usually I just try to like watch the film and then like try to flush it immediately.
Okay. All right.
Can you take us through that first sack and just what it was like to get that out of the way almost?
It feel good, especially like this probably like the earliest I got my first sack in the season. So it was pretty good. I felt pretty good about that.
Do you feel like you're getting to build more rapport with the guys you're rushing next to?
Absolutely. Like it's definitely like training camp. It like helps build that, but like it's different out there when there's actually live bullets going. So, but we just gonna try to keep meshing together every week and just getting better and feeding off each other.
What stands out most about the interior of this Colts line?
Experience. They're well coached. They're technicians. Physical, and it should be a good matchup.
Thank you. Appreciate your time, man.
Thanks, Poona. Appreciate it. So, after a loss like that, what do you do to kind of, clear your mind and put your head down and move on to the next game?
Yeah, I mean, you learn a lot more from losses and stuff, so it's kind of sucks. You never want to lose, but, there's some important things in the film to learn from and move on and grow as a unit and a team. And I think we're doing that in the process of doing that right now, so it's just going back to work.
And Coach McVay has said in the past that, as an interior offensive lineman, the more positions you can play, the more value that you bring. So how do you make sure that you're training at maximum potential for all of those positions without, sacrificing any one of them?
Yeah, just kind of getting reps before and after practice and staying on top of the different stances and, getting center snaps. That's pretty important because they kind of have everything scripted for you in team reps. So it's just important you get that extra work. Just always stay ready because you never know when your number will be called.
And what's it been like playing with Coleman this year?
Yeah, Coleman's a great center, very smart. He always knows what's going on with the defense. Anytime, I'm not sure what's going on, he's able to point me in the right direction. And just kind of the whole unit has a very commanding voice. I'm very lucky to have him.
And when you're, going in for a guy like Steve, what do you pick his brain about or ask him about just in relation to the position?
Yeah, Steve's he's started to become really good at coaching the last 2 years, helping us out, seeing him grown a lot in that. So he does a good job already of just kind of talking to us, seeing stuff that, may need work on. And then anything I struggle with, I go ask him kind of his mindset into that type of block or scheme or whatever. So he's just a great ear to kind of bounce off of and give great feedback.
What stands out most about this Indianapolis front?
Yeah, they got some experience in the middle. We got guys who've played a long time. And the edges, they're a little bit younger, but they're also really good and savvy. It's a good defense that we're going against, so it's going to be another crucial week of good practice reps and just kind of watching film, getting ready for the game.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks, Justin.
Yeah,
Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it.
When you have a loss like that, what's the message in the locker room, and how do you, just kind of put your head down and move forward?
Really just on to the next week, you know what I'm saying? We got the Colts this week, so that's really all we focus on right now, you know what I'm saying? It was a tough loss, but it's only week 3, so we got a whole lot of more football to play, really.
Seems like you've been moving around a little bit. Is that something that you did last year? Or is that something that you're doing more of this year?
It's really what I did late last year. You know what I'm saying? We're just building off of that this year. Just different opportunities, either to cover, to blitz. You know what I'm saying, or to be back deep. We got a lot of guys in the secondary that can play a lot of positions. So if I go down, then Tank can come in, play safety, or if I'm covering, you know what I'm saying, Tank can go blitz. So like we got a lot of stuff that a lot of guys that can play a lot of variety of positions.
Quentin is probably one of those guys that you're referring to. What have you learned from him about just the versatility of the safety position and how you can be at your best within that?
He does a great job at the nickel spot and a great job at the safety spot. So like you said, he's a real versatile player and he's a good leader. You know what I'm saying? And just like his movement, he's a big guy. You know what I'm saying? But he can still move like a corner and cover guys in the slot. So that's always good to have on defense.
What stands out most about this Colts offense?
I say they do everything well. You know what I'm saying? I've played against Daniel Jones, my whole career, but it seems like he's been revived. At the Colts, they do simple stuff, but they do it well. You know what I'm saying? That's all. Really that matters. If you got 11 guys on the same page and everybody's doing the right thing, that's what makes them a good offense. So it's going to be a good challenge for them.
From what you've seen on tape, what looks different about Daniel Jones's game compared to when you were in Washington and he was in New York?
He looks comfortable. You know what I'm saying? He looks comfortable throwing. He throws in the tight windows. You know what I'm saying? He's completing them. So just getting some pressure on them and touching up the receivers and being sticky to the receivers to hopefully mess up that timing.
Thanks, Cam. Appreciate you, man. Thanks, Cam.